Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you, Will. Let's get that Stream Raiders rolling. Happy Friday to all of you. Will Poker, Bun Buns, whoever else may be lurking around. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone saying hi in chat. Ooh, where do we start here? I think I'm going to start at the top. But not absolutely on the edge. There should be room for a couple of tanks or heavy units up front. Maybe you can cancel out the do not place things here. If you want to place one or two rogues or bombers or something along that line along here to sort of distract things from the main crowd, but that is up to you. Welcome in, everyone. We'll get started here with coffee in a second. I just realized that I had no hand towels in the kitchen. They're all dirty. I haven't washed them. Other than this one, which I just pulled out of the dryer. All right, coffee. There's some bread here that I started off already for tonight's dinner. I got that started this morning, and actually around 9 o'clock, and did several folds on it. We're going to do a couple more here in a little bit, but it's about a 75% hydration dough. Essentially, if you know that, you have basically your recipe for that. That's a 75% hydration dough. That means whatever amount of flour you want to use, that's 100%. 75% of that is how much water you add to that flour. And then yeast, salt, sugar, whatever your preference is. You can replace water with dairy if you would like. But that's the basics there. But I wanted a little bit of a longer proof on it. And I also wanted, so I got it started this morning, got it all going, and then put it into the refrigerator and retarded it until now. Which, yeah, I know people have a problem with that word. I apologize for using it. It's how I was it's how it's referred to with this. At least this is the way I was taught. You put it in the refrigerator so it stops doing anything. Which, yeah. Yeah, we forgot to get the scale started. And I still have screen readers covering OBS, so cool. The pancakes I'm planning for tonight's dinner, which it's not even traditional to have a side with a banh mi, because a banh mi is, from my understanding, here a little background on what I've read and what I know about banh mi, is it essentially means bread in Vietnamese. It's based off of the French bringing their bread styles to Vietnam in World War I. But primarily in Vietnam, they eat bread for breakfast items. They eat sandwiches for breakfast items. And so I would sort of guess that this is almost like their egg and cheese here in the States with ham. But, you know, it's completely different, and we eat it for all sorts of meals here in the US. And also, there is no one particular style. Since banh mi just means bread, there are subtypes of what banh mi's are. I am going to do the one that I am most familiar with, that I have seen the most on menus. However, I don't know a proper term for it. But it is including, I'm going to use brungschwager, so pate or liver pate, and ham. And then for the rice noodle pancakes, I'm going to cook some rice noodles. I'm going to toss them along with, this is going to be a little bit untraditional, but I'm going to throw some kimchi in there, and some raw egg, and then cook those as pancakes. So it'll be rice noodles, pancakes, rice noodles, eggs, kimchi, and maybe some green onion. Welcome in, Miss Lisa Face. How we doing? I'm having a quite lovely day, other than getting a bit delayed and having to start stream a bit late. Otherwise, all is good. I don't know why something's like twisted with my apron here. Let's see. Happy Friday to you, Miss Lisa Face. Nice. I was actually sitting here thinking, I was getting things ready, that, yeah, this is probably a dish that I probably should have planned for later in the week, because I'm going to be using rice noodles in several other dishes, and this is almost like the perfect use up leftover rice noodles dish. Not too bad. A little warm, but not just a couple of degrees too warm by my standard. About 80 degrees. That's one less one. Welcome in, Greek boy. Ooh, that sounds like a good time, Miss Lisa Face. I miss my hammock. I had a tree fall in my yard, so I can't use my hammock anymore. I don't have any other places to set it up. Nice. Cheers. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Ooh. I know I do this like at least 50% of the time, but I gotta go for that double dip. This is also not out here by chance. I do have a Riesling for with tonight's dinner, which hopefully will work out. It's a dry Riesling. Many people only know the sweet Rieslings. There are drier ones too. So we got our dough that is now sticking to my plastic wrap, unfortunately. Let go. We'll do it with all three. Charcuterie. As in charcuterie. Using a little pump sprayer to put a little olive oil on these, which I'm now going to make sure is coated all over. The sprayer is more to control how much I'm putting actually on each of these. Alright, and so I am going to guess on these sizes. Well, that is charcuterie, which is the base to charcuterie. I could punch this down and make it all be impressive on stream, like I have in past. But I want to keep those air bubbles right now. And I am trying to guess my best at 1/3, just visually. Close enough for me. Especially when that one's much less. Doing a good job at that this time. That's good enough for me. Don't have to be perfect, but I wanted them at least in the same ballpark. Apologize for the fan noise there. Okay, I'm cheating. Reusing this. Do I want to rolling pin this? I was hoping I was going to be able to flatten these out and stretching them out a bit more. But I will live with that. Now. And pinching the seam closed. There we go, there's our first baguette of 3 here. Penguin, thank you for that resub.
Hello. Happy to see you in. Happy Friday to you.
Let's get this a little more of a stretch.
What wine is that?
That is a cheapie Sonoma wine. It's from just outside of Santa Rosa, Chateau Saint Michel. And it's a Riesling in 2020, so it's a relatively young, and it's a dry Riesling. Which I will be getting to once I conclude my lovely glass of coffee. Cheers. Takoyaki. Alright, so give these a light coat, a little bit of flour on the outside of them. They already got most of that from the board already. And I'm going to lay another piece of parchment over the top of them. And we'll let those continue to proof. And they'll still take a little while to proof. I'm still going to let those gain a bit more size. I mean, I took primarily all the air out of them. I wanted to save whatever air I could by not punching that down. But, yeah. What is my go-to sandwich? I've never been much of a sandwich guy because I'll never go through the bread. I never really have been. My honest go-tos when the college, beyond college, when I was working in restaurants and just wanted something quick, it was always rice. It was always rice with something. And when it was really lazy years, it was like microwave in the bag rice just mixed with stuff. Frozen veg is very much your friend if you're tight on time. All you need to do is saute that up or stir fry it up, steam it a little bit. I actually should probably get rid of them because I've had them long enough. I didn't think about that. But I still have ramen in my house right now. Just instant ramen. I mean, that's absolute dirt cheap, easy, quick. I mean, boil up some ramen, broil up some eggs, or cook up a couple eggs. Done deal. Another one was just easy spaghettis. I mean, you've got great pastas that are buyable at stores, and great sauces that aren't all that bad either. Yeah, it's sort of sad, the state that the whole food industry is in, much less just the restaurant industry alone. A lot of the restaurant industry problems are just amplified versions of what's going on with everything. Yeah, that's pretty much the case. I mean, lamb is nice. Yeah, I've been trying to do more poultry this year, and that includes more turkey, but at the same time, I agree that it's not a very exciting protein. It's actually very bland and boring. Most chicken is bland and boring these days too, but you can every once in a while get a nice flavorful bird. It helps buying from local producers for that. Which there isn't, I don't know if I really have good options anymore here in Sonoma for doing that with chickens. So, next project. We need to do some pickling. What we got hidden underneath the bowl over here? Perfect. This is what I was looking for anyways. Oh, that's a nice one. Good quality control there. Oh, hey, let's do our battle. Let's go to war. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Boo. I guess I get 200 gold for losing. Same thing as last time. Someone wants to throw something down here to maybe pull some of this before it gets to us over here. That is welcome. Entropy. Thank you. 23 months, almost 2 years.
Wahoo.
Thank you so much. Alright, back to doing a little pickling. We'll get into the quests and stuff on Stream Raiders a little bit later. So I'm going to thin slice these. Not that thin. and then thin slice them this way. A little messy, but we'll live with it. And I know you've been watching much longer than that, Entropy. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hey, Blue Moon. Happy Friday to everyone. Using these carrots, sort of using them up. I bought them for just quickly throwing on a veggie platter. I am. Bun Sue. Sponsored this week. Another great theme. Doing well. Started stream a little late today. That was a mess up on my part, but otherwise, things been pretty good here. So we're looking forward to the menu on Tuesday. I haven't tried and have not had Vietnamese style meatballs, which, as with many newly popular cuisines, they're based out of what are actually really sort of poor cuisines being turned into much more elaborate foods. From my studies, I have not been to Vietnam. I don't want to say that I am any sort of authority on that. Is that it's very much rice products and fish and chicken. Otherwise, we very much in the U.S. have added in all the other suspects as far as proteins. And, I mean, it's a very largely rural, from what I understand, country that primarily they eat noodles. They primarily eat rice cakes with some sort of meat and veg. They have several greens that are not well known outside of their area, and I wouldn't be able to find other than maybe in a specialty market. And what else is there? The dish that I'm doing tonight, I was sort of describing, was largely based off of the French's influence during World War I on Vietnam by bringing their bread to the country. And now bread is typically sort of like a breakfast food for them. So even though this is sort of a savory sandwich, actually it's a very savory sandwich, it'd be like what I'm equating to a bacon and egg and cheese or something along that line here in the States for breakfast. There is any experts out there on Vietnamese cuisine, please speak up if I'm being completely off base, because all I know is what I have read, and that is based entirely off of how intelligent writers who I do not know are. I would have a much better julienne if I wasn't using these silly little circular carrots. However, the pickled veg is very much part of this dish. Don't know what else to say about it. I'm not an expert in Vietnamese cuisine. I'm trying, though. I mean, I love me some Vietnamese spring rolls, but I mean, that's very much what I was meaning in the Vietnamese spring rolls. You've got, it's very much rice products. It's rice noodles with fresh greens and lots of herbs. Very well known for having tons of herbs in Vietnamese cuisine. And, you know, it's wrapped in rice paper. You know, so it's rice, rice, and rice. Grab the net. That's a bit of a toughie. I would have been looking for things using teas. Oh, hey. There we go. You should be able to hear me a little bit better now. Just a random query, since we have a few regulars around that I haven't seen in a minute. Or at least haven't spoken up in a minute. We have any Minecraft fans in chat? I know very little about the game. But it seems like a simple, fun game to play. And I was sort of thinking, maybe someday in the future here, we could do a bit of a long day combination, starting a new world on Minecraft and cooking. I would have to ask, 1, is it free? And 2, is it PC?
Yeah, but I already have Minecraft. I just was saying that I'm in no way an expert and have not seriously played it at all. I don't know why I'm doing this into the sink. But I'm peeling the daikon. You get a real nice fresh one. You can just give it a rinse off and go with it. This is not a fresh one. Awesome, Penguin, thank you. So, for the most part, thinly sliced daikon and carrot. We'll do this other piece up here too. Do I have any bay leaves? I need to get bay leaves. Wish I knew there was a bay tree somewhere where I could just steal the twig off of it. Penguin.
All right, what are we doing here? Vinegar, some water, doing 1 cup of white vinegar, I know I got some rice vinegar in here that I can splash in. Do about 1/4 cup of that. I'm going to add a couple of drops of sesame oil. Let's leave that out. Let's keep it fresh. I think we'll just do some mustard seed. Oh, we got celery seed here too. Coriander seeds. Celery seed. Onion powder. And mustard seed. Ooh, they're poofing a bit. They're poofing a bit. Add this to the small pan. We'll bring this up to a boil together. Thank you, Ozzy. Appreciate the 200 biddies.
Hey Chef,
thank you.
you looking pretty cute today, Chef. Year one grin.
Got about another minute here until our battle. Take a look at the quests and stuff, see if we got any goodies waiting for me. And none of those are really ones that I want to spend money on. Oh hey, this needs some water too. That was just straight vinegar. So let's say about 3/4 of a cup of water in with that vinegar and spice mix that I just did. You always want to make sure, well, for cost reasons, vinegar is not cheap. I mean, simple. White vinegar isn't that expensive, but regardless, vinegar is not cheap. And so you can cut that by 50% and still have it be a safe pickling liquid, especially for a quick pickle, not something that you are keeping, not something you are preserving. This is not intended for that. This is not a canning lesson. Let's do our battle. I think I'd rather have the healer faster in order to keep up with everyone. I saw that. I missed that message earlier, Penguin, about how fast it tracks me. It's not super fast. It's not a high-powered motor. It's just a cutesy little thing. Victory. Little Poker getting those kills. Some Patter getting the assists. And they're both getting the rewards as well. Thank you for your assistance. Now let's kill that boss. Little Poker is a beast at Stream Raiders. He's been... They... Sorry, I don't know. Don't remember. I'm horrible at remembering. Has just been killing it here on Stream Raiders. Just getting it. Alright, so we got our vinegar and water mixture and a nice boil there, making sure we're all sanitary. And then we're going to pour this over our veg. carrots are immediately coloring these. So we're going to get a bit of... Actually, it might be a bit brownish almost. But they will be quick pickled. Oh, I'm forgetting that something I wanted to throw in there too. More art there. Go. I got a couple of red chilies. I'll throw one of those in there. Minus its seeds. And whatever crawled into it there. I'm just going to do this over the trash. I'm just going to scrape out the center with my finger. And then do some thin slicing. There's a wonderful guy that sells banh mi at the couple of markets in the county, although that was years ago. I don't know if he's still around. And he used to use jalapenos with this. I just thought the red would be a little bit more pretty. And there's red jalapenos too. I think I have you beat. I have a bottle of champagne in the fridge that I bought for New Year's and then didn't use. Oh, it depends on what your definition of good wine is. I mean, good wine is not necessarily an expensive wine. For example, this is an on average $8 bottle. In the top percent, 10%, 9%. I think it was on Vivino. And it sounds like it's right up my alley, although I don't remember having the reason. I'm sure I've tasted it before. I don't know that I've bought a bottle of it before, but because I've been tasting there, and yeah. They're also well known for their sparklings. Actually, I think they're primarily known for their sparklings and their cave-aged sparklings.
which are all along that same road right outside of Santa Rosa. There's several of the cave-aged. Or, hey, we just bored a hole into the mountain instead of paying for a building. I have a feeling boring the hole out was probably more expensive than a building if you think about it, but... really just like, I used to use the really thin rubber bands for things. I've got so many collected up now that I don't keep them anymore. But I got really annoyed that a couple of these brands they got smart, I guess, and instead of paying for a sticker that goes all the way around or some sort of tape that goes around, or they realized they can just print a nice label and wrap it on top of a rubber band and put it around there, and it's probably a heck of a lot cheaper for them. And to go along with, there's many different types of wines with many different tastes, and genetically we all taste things differently. So, I mean, who's to say that half of the stuff that people talk about being in wine, you're even able to tell? I'm gonna save the rest of this. I am sure I will find uses for green onion the rest of this week. So I bought some kimchi, and I haven't tried this brand before, so I have no idea if it's any good or not. But I went for spicy. Hey, Suki, welcome in. Open already. Brilliant. Why do we need to pay for storage to let it ferment? Let's just let it ferment in the container on the road. Thank you for that resub. Appreciate
Brilliant
that, Suki.
smile.
And we can use this. It's just a little olive oil. So we're going to take a little of this kimchi out. Now this is not traditional to Vietnamese cuisine, if you had not caught on. This is something that I am adding just to spice up and change up the rice noodle pancakes. So we'll have kimchi, egg, and rice noodles and green onion in our pancakes. Let's give this a real nice fine chop here. Actually, I lied. I'm going to throw a little soy sauce into that too, which will mostly cook off. Did I say hi to you tonight, Ozzy? I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate the biddies too, but I didn't know if I said hello. Aww. It's because you got that hammer. Well, welcome in, Penguin. Great to have you with me. Along with Ozzy. Again, a little olive oil. I don't think it's going to kill me.
Yeah, maybe I was a bit premature. We're gonna probably need 2 or 3 eggs here. Not just one. Yep, that was the ham. Let's do 3. We got those noodles to mix in there too. 2 would be more than enough just to do the kimchi though. MST. Apologize for my not recognizing that. Yeah, it's sort of... Yeah. Well, California just voted to get rid of daylight savings. So, that should make it even more fun. But what makes it even more fun than that is a good portion of Mountain Time already doesn't do that. Like, I lived for a little while in Arizona for 6 months for my externship. And the time there was always funky trying to figure it out because half the year doesn't match the rest of the country. So I'm going to use my kettle over here to boil a little water. Yep, I would like for it to be that way here, Penguin. It's getting to the point where there's not much that I have to change anymore, though. I mean, it used to be, like, you had clocks in every room that you had to update. And for me, now it's cell phone automatically updates, computer automatically updates, smart TVs automatically update, which I don't have one, but they do. You know, yeah, all the way down the line. And, you know, it's down to essentially my oven and my microwave that are clocks that I have to bother with for daylight savings. I probably have to deal with them for the power flickering more than I do from the actual daylight savings. I don't get a lot of long power outages here, but, you know, probably, I don't know, average of at least once a month, we'll get a flicker and, you know, cut everything off. I mean, it's getting to the point where even cars are keeping up to date with the time. I would argue it probably was at one point, but no way anymore. Like, at some point of that
curve of adoption of electricity, it made sense. I don't know, I'm talking without any authority or knowledge on the subject. And so, not the prettiest choice of cilantro. When I was in the store, yeah, a lot of them were like this, where they're topped, where this plant has already grown out once and been harvested once. They cut it there once, and then they let it grow out enough that they got a couple more. And I'm keeping some of the stems with this. I'm just not keeping the big heavy ones. Which I think this is more work than I think any place I've had a banh mi is doing to their cilantro, but wishing I had a small little salad spinner right now. Actually, I sort of wished I had a small little salad spinner most of the time that I had my business. I had when I bought my trailer, there was already a massive salad spinner in there. But that's for handling like 5 heads of lettuce or something. I mean, it's more than 5 gallons to fill up with liquid to clean out. It's not something that I would even really want to... I mean, it would take over a quarter of this countertop. Yeah, Indians are toughy, Penguin. Indian cuisine is a tough one to crack. There's actually a lot of holding secrets and stuff like that when it comes to Indian cuisine. They get spices and stuff from all over the place that are... don't want to sell our secrets. And the spices you have to consider. A lot of the spices that they're using in their recipes. Like I was saying before with the other day, I was wanting to use Szechuan peppercorns with the Szechuan beef. And in the US, you just don't find fresh green Szechuan peppercorns. At least I haven't seen them anywhere. Maybe if you've got a great spice store. But typically it's, you know, been on a shipping container for 6 months. And I mean, I've found plenty of brown or older seeds, but that goes for a lot of those. I mean, all those spices and stuff that they put in Indian foods. I doubt it's very similar here in the US, and replicating it is very easy because, one, they don't share a lot of it, which is a little bit of their culture sort of a thing. And yeah, the time it takes to get to you. And I'm certain you can get fresh spice. I mean, you can find them in New York, or if you're in a major city, that sort of a thing. But that might be quickly imported, but that's certainly one way. Yeah, there is. Your reception when you get there. I'm saying this as I have literally had people, or actually, sorry, I use literally. Anyways, I have actually had people in chat being like, yeah, we have family spices that, yeah, we would never share. I wasted enough time that we got Stream Raiders yet? Oh, hey. Oops. My mouse has been finicky lately. Entropy getting those kills. Felix helping out with the assist. Ozzy getting the scroll. Boss defeated. We got to start there, but we're going to have to figure out whether we have to go top, middle, or bottom after this map.
I think I'm going to start here at the top, and I'm going to start with the flag bearer. Oops. Welcome in, Tsuki. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of the scrap stems and unused cilantro here. Those all look like decent pieces. That looks like a decent piece of cilantro. Sahiye. One moment, folks. I'm gonna check something and back. I'll be right back. Oh, my legs are so sore. Okay. So that's good, that's good, that's good. I got water boiled over here. Or close to it, hopefully. Close to it. That's a good dad joke for this stream. I burned 2,000 calories today. I left it in the oven too long. Not that I don't think I've... Well, I think I've burnt some bread products on this stream. That's pretty common. I've burnt some other things too. I've royally crisped some mushrooms. So I'm gonna take some rice noodles here, which and then I'm gonna pour boiling water over them. I'm just gonna stir this until they're soft enough that I'm wanting to mix them in with our other mixture over here. Might have been a bit light on the noodles, but oh well. I only want to make a couple of pancakes here anyways. This isn't... I'm not trying to make a week's worth of pancakes. I looked that up and then I didn't look up. So I'm going to turn the oven on for our bread now. I should have guessed this already, but 400 degrees, 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna leave that to just soak and hang out until I'm ready to do these bad boys. Until we're ready to make our sandwiches. Because the sandwiches can be made and sit for a moment. I think the next step of the evening here is pouring myself a little Riesling. They have poofed considerably. Pretty happy with how the bread is actually looking underneath that parchment there. Oh, let's get rid of the rest of these rice sticks too. We're going to be using these later in the week too, so like a single package of these rice sticks is 3 times as much as that. And it's not even a half pound. I always like to sort of look at the corks. And it's sort of my way of checking price point on how much they're spending on their wine and how much they actually... This is an actual cork wine. Cork. However, it's one of the particle corks. It's in the upper end of the particle corks because you got a solid top and end to it of cork with particle cork in the center. And then it is actually customized specific to that vineyard. So those are all, you know, money spent on and that is not how you normally, like the old school, you know, smell the cork nonsense. You're gonna tell right away once they pour it if it's corked. White plate. Or somewhat white plate. Mm-hmm. It's like they poured this over a piece of wood. Like there's the ever faintest scent of a little bit of oak there, but it actually mostly smells of being a stainless wine, which there is sort of like a smell to a stainless wine too. And yeah, it smells like a tasty white wine. Cheers, everyone. Wow, that's sweeter than I expected it. For being a... I've had much drier Rieslings than this. This is a little bit like drinking apple juice. I'm gonna be... You've definitely got some of that bright green fruit, like, flavor there. I mean, quite honestly, almost like a little bit of that crisp, bitter, acidic, green apple. I like it though. There's a lot of minerality in there, which I always say is what I like in whites. You got a lot of citrus in there. You got a lot of like green fruit, like I think apple, but maybe papaya or something along that line too. All right, what else are we waiting on here? I think we're waiting on our bread. And the oven for the bread. I had thought earlier today, I was like, it's been a minute since I've done a wine on stream. So, I've had a couple of bottles sitting here waiting to use for stream. I've got a Zinfandel 2 or 3 cabs. This one and another white. I forget what the other white is. I think the other white that I have is even more of a white than this. This is almost a golden white to me.
Yeah, that's dangerous stuff. I could pound that. That's yeah. That's in the ballpark of, there was a Riesling that, well, it's also probably a little nostalgia for me. Because people in my associates / bachelor's class at the culinary, especially in my associates, there was a Riesling that we had found at the local store, and I forget, I think it was like $4 back then. I mean, now it would be obviously $8 sounds reasonable compared to that. And yeah, we drank a lot of that dry white $4 Riesling. I also made mead when I was in college. I walked around my the night of my associates graduation. I walked around with the gallon of mead. This giant jug. I was washing this so I can put some cuts into this. Razor blades are your best bet for this project, but I don't really have any kitchen clean. These two here did slightly touch, so I am just barely pulling them apart. And last thing that I'm doing here is I'm brushing some water on them. Do I have my brush over here, or is it put away? And I'm brushing the water on them as a bit of instant steam sort of a thing, to help get that crust going, because I'm not using pan like I normally would. Dutch oven like I normally do for a high hydration dough. And this is just going to obviously moisten up that top and get a little bit of that. It won't have that dry flour exterior. I'm looking for a crisp exterior instead. And you can do this before you cut it if you want to have those like contrasty white bread compared to the crusty exterior. But I'm just not really worrying about getting it in the areas that I cut. But some of it's making its way there. Alright. So here are our
3 loaves of bread. Into the 400-degree oven. The other parts of tonight's sandwich are actually pretty easy and actually sort of a cheat. I'm using pre-cooked, pre-sliced ham. However, you'll often find shredded pork or braised pork or anything along that line. Typically not too heavily seasoned, not like, you know, barbecue or anything like that. Just simply roasted pork that's been shredded. And then I'm using some Brunswager or some liverwurst. Brunswager is basically liverwurst made for sandwiches. And, or is it the other way around? I can't remember. And so liver pate, ham or pork or along that line, pickled carrots and daikon with some, and then some chili in there, a little green onion, but that was just to throw a little green onion in there, and then lots of cilantro. Like, this is almost like our lettuce to our sandwiches tonight. Set an 8-minute timer for the bread. Who knows if that's correct or not, if that was 2 minutes or not. I'm sure someone who's adventurous could go and look it up in the VOD, but I doubt anyone really wants to bother with that. And who's to say, I mean, if I say 10 to 15, what's the reality there, whether, you know, I typed it in originally at the right time, sort of a thing. It's the funky thing with recipes. No one's oven heat's the same. No one's oven is going to have the same. Actually, probably the biggest difference in ovens is going to be the heat cycling to it. Is how big of a heat difference it goes before it says, okay, that's too hot, I need to stop heating. Or it's too cold, I need to start heating again. You stopped following me. I still haven't figured out how to get the cat to follow me. I can get it to stop following me. I just can't get it to start again. Absolutely, Ozzy. I'll repeat what little of the history I started to know off the top of my head. The French brought French bread to the Vietnamese during World War I. They sort of called it, which is banh mi, just basically means bread to them. It's, if you break it down, if you want like a piece of bread, you sort of say a piece of bread instead of banh mi, which is bread.
And anyways, going from there. So they don't, it was sort of like an added part to their cuisine. It was an original part to their cuisine. And from what I've read, they primarily eat sandwiches and bread entirely just for breakfast or in the mornings. And so I've been sort of saying that I sort of think of this as the Vietnamese bacon and egg and cheese, or sausage and egg. It's a savory dish, but I think traditionally, or at least culturally, it would be an early in the day thing. And that's sort of why, while I think the rice noodle pancake, is something you could certainly find on the streets in Vietnam, the kimchi thing is entirely my addition. Nice. I'm planning that for 2. I don't even know what I'm going to do with the 3rd loaf of bread. But it's a recipe I haven't tried for bread before, so I thought I'd give it a shot. As far as size and proofing and all that. Nice. Yeah, I also thought this would be a great dinner with something light, fresh, crisp, acidic. I mean, that goes great with pretty much everything that's on this counter right now. About 3 minutes until I check in on the bread. I could go ahead and start sauteing this now. This is ready to go, by the way. There's nothing holding me up on this. I am just figuring that this is probably going to be better warmer, and the sandwich doesn't need to be, so I want the bread to be cooked through and out here and cooling at least before I start playing around with that. Or actually, before I get serious about that. Right now I'm playing around with it, just stirring it. Oh wow, they actually have a calorie analysis on this. Wow, that's interesting. That's something I haven't seen on a wine bottle in ever. But I mean, look at that calorie count for 5 ounces. Alcohol is not low calorie, folks. Alright, to war. Let's go with haste. What the heck was that? We have a transformer on our team, folks. The heck is that thing? Victory. Penguin. Getting them kills for us. Entropy helping out with the assists. Entropy getting the scrolls. Alright, we going top, middle, or bottom? Blue, green, or gold? I'm going to check in the oven on the bread real quick here. Because that was the timer for the bread. Oh, that bread can use another couple of minutes. I'm sort of thinking middle. Chat seems to like blue chests. But I'm waiting for someone to give me some response. I mean, it's basically a choice. The green and the blue is sort of like you're gonna go for skins. The gold is you're going for typically for gold for, you know, building up your army and that sort of stuff. Why don't we go for middle of the road here? We'll go for that blue chest. And I'm going to use a flag bearer. And there we go, there's our new map. I didn't really see any color going on these yet, so... we're starting to just barely get a little color on them. So I'm going to give these another 5 minutes. We'll see how they are after that. You just added it to your army? Or you bought a skin for it? Nice. People seem to like that one. I never really I don't know if I have it unlocked on my public Stream Raiders account or not, or I say public, but my non-captain Stream Raiders. Like if I want to go and play Stream Raiders on someone else's stream, I have a completely separate army and experience and gold and everything else. It's like a completely separate account from what I have for my captain account and for what sees on my stream. And so I have not gotten all the way through on my personal one. And I don't know if I have I think I have Vampire unlocked, but I'm certainly nowhere near where I am on my captain account. So I'm sort of debating what I'm gonna do for Sunday. I'm definitely gonna be doing Vietnamese spring rolls. Like that's for sure in the plans. I've already got the rice noodles that I can use for that. I might already have the rice wraps if I look around here. I don't know if I got rid of those or not, but all that's ready. And so, but that's a little bit of time wrapping. But that isn't really, I feel like I need to put something with that. So I need to do a little bit more research to figure out something else that I'm going to serve along with the spring rolls on Sunday. I'm open to suggestions. I'm already planning on doing rice noodles once again. Rice sticks, rice noodles, along with Vietnamese meatballs, which are sort of flat. They're not really round. They're not balls. They're flattened meatballs. And so I'm going to be trying that for the first time on Tuesday. I have a feeling we're going to be working with pizza on Wednesday. I have a feeling that pizza won that one. I don't know, maybe we'll have a revolution. The banana pepper revolution. But it's looking like Papa John's pizza is going to be the challenge on Wednesday. So I'm going to have to make dinner and dessert using Stream Raiders. Or using Papa John's Stream Raiders. My brain and chat just don't work together. A little bit of light golden brown. I think that's a little light still. I want to do a little bit more of a bake on those. Give those another 5 minutes. I'm sort of thinking now that maybe putting the water on, I'm not sure if it was the right play or not. We'll see. Because now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, it's a little bit more bagel-y like. It's that steamy crust. It's not going to be as crispy as blasted. going back to talking about stream raiders and vampires. When it comes to my captain account, I basically did warrior until it didn't make any sense to do warrior at all anymore. And so I maxed out my warrior, and now the units that I'm using the most are the ones that have leveled up the most, because I'm getting quests to get more units leveled. That's something a lot of international countries have that I think the U.S. I would like to see in the U.S. I actually had hopes and dreams of one day of maybe even doing one myself, but just the street foods that they have. There's ways that we could do it under U.S. laws. I mean, it wouldn't be exactly fun, comparatively, but, there's ways that we could do decent street food places like that, where people could come in with cheap ingredients, not spend a ton of money to be selling food compared to running a restaurant. Just no one doing it. No one taking that leap. Maybe work at the lighting on my main camera. I'm looking at it, it's looking a little washed out. Like everything, I mean, it's nice to have tons of light. It's almost looking a little too bright on camera though. Oh, we're just a little bit slow right now waiting on our bread to cook. As I was saying in Discord, let's take a look at this bread real quick here. Alright, I'm gonna go with that. Even though it's on the lighter side, that'll work for me. Yeah, it is looking like that, Ozzy. I wonder who suggested Papa John's. I can never guess. I have no idea what I'm going to do for it either. And as usual, I'm still not going to seriously plan it or consider it until the day before, whether or not there's a close vote at the end. And well, since it's open to just Papa John's, you didn't say like Papa John's pepperoni or whatever. I'm gonna hold that to my chest and choose what's best for whatever recipes or ideas I'm doing. I mean, I've already done the pepperoni pizza pineapple pie. What's your suggestion, Ozzy?
What would you use? What would you do? Well, okay, well, but what dishes would you use the works for? Like, are you gonna put the works in your dessert? What pizza are you gonna buy for your dessert? Actually, you opened it up to all of Papa John's because you just said John. You didn't even say Papa John's. You said John's Papa. And so that opens it up to, I mean, I don't even know what they have for their dessert menu. Do they have sandwiches? I don't know what else they have on their menu besides pizza. I mean, it's Papa John's Pizza. I assume they have pizza. But oh, so I can just buy Papa John's pizza, cookies, and make ice cream and make cookies and ice cream? Done deal. I might finish this bottle on stream, folks. This is serious, like, this is dangerous. I'm already chatty. But yeah, let's go back to the whole ingredient thing. I got distracted from the ingredient thing. Five ounces. Like, compare that to soda. Like, 20 ounce, like, can of soda, 100 calories. You know, that's what, 12 ounces? 5 ounces is 120 calories. I'm not getting much peach off of this, but they're saying tart apple and peach. This would go great with cheese. This would go great with brie. Like, they're recommending that, and it's just, like, yes, absolutely, cheese. I got food. I always got food. Actually, I should probably get going here on my pancakes. I've been waiting on my bread to bake and now cool. We've been making some fresh bread here today. Got lots of cilantro. We got some pickled daikon radish and carrots with some chilies and green onion. Over here we have some rice noodles that I cooked. Just dropped in some boiling water to soften up. Mixed in with egg, kimchi, and green onion. And these are going to be pancakes. I'm going to sear these. The kimchi is not Vietnamese, but the rest of it I'm sure you could probably find in Vietnamese cuisine.
Hopefully you're having a lovely Friday. Master of Splits. If you're unfamiliar, I cook here 4 nights a week. And I do all sorts of stuff. This week I'm doing Vietnamese food by suggestion of one of my longer viewers. If you're a long-time viewer, you're able to submit suggestions for weekly themes. Yeah, let's go with the large pan. A little sunflower oil in the pan. Actually, I wasn't planning on doing pho. Pho, however you pronounce it. I just don't know that I can get anywhere clear. I mean, I make my own stocks. I make some beautiful, very delicious stocks. I just don't know that I can do that type of broth. Or at least do it proper justice. My plans here for 3 of the 4 days. The 4th day of the week, I do an ingredient challenge. I try to wrap it into the themes, but not all of the ingredient challenges match the themes, sort of a thing. Yeah. Sanofa. I'm gonna be doing spring rolls on Sunday, and on Tuesday I'm going to be doing Vietnamese meatballs, which I haven't tried making before. So I don't want this on super high. Checking what flame level we're at here. I think this is going to be good for at least 2 decent pancakes. Make sure we get that egg mixed in real well just before we throw it in the pan. So that's going to be on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I was just saying before you stopped in, we have our weekly ingredient challenge going on in the Discord channel. And it's looking like I'm going to have to use Papa John's pizza for dinner and dessert on Wednesday. Don't know that I'm going to have to be able to work pizza into Vietnamese cuisine, but that's what I'm being asked of by chat. Thank you, Will Poker. And anyone joining in, I'll give permissions to after the stream or sometimes during the stream. Or if Ozzy finds you, he can give you permissions too. And so the idea is to cook this a little bit slower, you know, just like you're making a normal pancake. Like, to me, American style buttermilk pancake. We're gonna let this sizzle for a little while, properly cook through. I'm actually sort of watching over here for these to get a little brown, a little color around the edges maybe. This is reminding me of the ramen challenge that I did on stream where I made burger buns out of ramen. Mixing the ramen with raw egg and putting it in a circular form to make a bun. We have the bottom of our bread. Nice and soft bread. This is going to be... There's some definitely bubbleage in this bread. It definitely poofed. Nice light golden brown. Just lightly crispy. I'm not a big fan of crispy pasta or crispy, so we'll see how I feel about this. I'm just not a fan of, like, I'm not a huge fan of that proper golden crispy rice, or I love caramelization. I love the extra flavor that gives other things. I'm talking about the actual texture of that, like, cooked but then re-dried out pasta or rice or whatever starch. It's not my favorite. However, this is feeling actually like it might be quite lovely. And I'm planning on cutting these pancakes after and just to keep them separate, I'm going to use one of my protein cutting boards just for organization. What's new in your world, Ozzy? What are you having for dinner? You posted an awful delicious looking lunch this morning. Or afternoon. Have you moved on to drinking something else at this point? Yes. Welcome in. We're just waiting on our pancake to finish cooking through here. Our first of two rice noodle pancakes with kimchi and green onion, a little onion powder. It's our second one before it went in the pan. Make sure and get that a good mix up. Try and get all those solids mixed in with the rice pasta or rice noodles. No, this is not, well, as I was saying in chat earlier, the kimchi part of this is most certainly not. The rest of it I would not question at all. The rice noodles, the rice noodle pancake, the green onion, the onion powder. The kimchi is my little change there. And just like this is fresh homemade bread versus a proper classical French baguette, it's in the ballpark. There's actually a baker that competed in the Coupe du Monde representing the US that goes to the Sonoma Farmers Market. Now his baguettes, oh my god. Like I said, I don't know what I was going to do with the third one. I think this, the one that I'm throwing around here, this is sort of like the ugly duckling of the three. These two are looking much more. They don't have a great point to them. They aren't. I would like a little bit more crispness and a little bit darker color to them. We're not too far off this. And that's with them not having probably enough time to properly do the whole ferment. Like, I started them this morning. I probably should have started the dough yesterday. Dewey, thank you for reminding me, Penguin. I know we have another battle here to do. I'm gonna flip that second pancake now. Victory. Inch be getting those kills and assists. Just sweeping it. Will Poker running away with the scroll though for his their healer. Scrolls and some gold, I'll take it. Going towards that blue chest. We'll do one more battle tonight. monk time. Almost feel like bringing out the tortilla holder to keep them warm. Cilantro and parsley are very different. Very different. I suggest you buy a little bit of both of them. It'll cost you $4 maybe. And that's today prices. I would say $2 2 years ago. And just try them. They smell completely different too. Parsley, before the days of mint, before mint took over everything in our worlds, people actually chewed parsley as a breath freshener. The other one, cilantro, about 20%, 16-20%, somewhere in there, genetically are adverse to the taste of cilantro. As Penguin is saying, it tastes like soap to them. Parsley is actually quite mild unless you find yourself some really flavorful celery or parsley, which is not common. And so, I mean, most times when I hear parsley thrown into a dish, I think, okay, they want some green color so it looks pretty. It's not gonna change your dishes hugely in most cases because of how bland it is in most cases. However, if you get some nice, potent, powerful celery, or I keep saying celery, parsley, it can be a breath freshener. Alright, let's make our first sub, or the only sub that I'm making tonight, really. Where'd you go? There we are. Celery, parsley, cilantro. I apologize for that. This is not the first glass. Do a little Japanese Kewpie mayo. I don't know if MSG mayo is traditional, but mayo is traditional to this dish, or this sandwich. And then we got all of our other goodies.
That is true. That is very true. I tend to use them interchangeably, though, when I'm talking. We do love MSG here. Mayo should be free of MSG. I don't know if I agree with that one. I mean, I'm sure there are situations when you don't want that. But if you think about lunch meats and what's going on there, vast majority of the time, it's a rather savory situation. And so we have some brunchwager, our pate, our sliced ham, cheese is one thing that I don't ever seem to see on banh mi's. Well, I have dried ginger. I occasionally buy fresh ginger, but usually I'm not going to use it up enough, so I keep dried ginger. And I have fresh garlic. But I haven't really used much of either for tonight's dish. So here again we have some quick pickled daikon radish, carrots, and chili and green onion, a little onion powder, and obviously some spices in the pickling liquid. And as you can see, I'm not exactly going light with this. And then we're going heavy with our cilantro. Or coriander, depending on... I've noticed that some cultures call it coriander rather than... Most people know it as coriander here in the US when it comes to the seeds, not the plant. Grey Poupon. I have Grey Poupon, but I'm not going to put it on there. Especially with the price of Grey Poupon right now. Well, I live in Sonoma County, so, I mean, we know a thing or two about potatoes. It's not just wine out here. Of course. Need something to do with our leftover cilantro here. Like I said, I was sort of prepping for 2 sandwiches here. That's sort of what it's looking like, isn't it, Penguin? I actually have followed in the past copycat recipes for making Subway subs, or at least the bread form. I did get it out. Yeah, the whole $5 sub thing is definitely out the window at this point. You can still technically get a large pepperoni pizza from Little Caesars for $5. I mean, they're trying their best to get you that extra dollar. Guess we'll go with photos. I was talking earlier about, college cheap dinners. That has to be up there on my list too. Yeah, Little Caesars $5 pizza. I wouldn't call it a great pizza, but for $5, I don't know what's beating it. Yeah, I used to buy the Costco pizzas too. They're a decent deal too. But then you gotta bake them. Ugh. You know my opinion on Papa John's. I could care less for Papa John's. It's way too sweet. Their tomato sauce is way too sweet. So I'm just quartering these pancakes. It's not a horrible pizza. I mean, they've made a name for themselves for a reason. But in my experience, they've always been overpriced. And way too sweet. Beyond that, it's sort of like a store-by-store thing. Like, are they able to properly cooking a pizza? Is it raw in the center? Things like that. That's not gonna be the company. That's gonna be the store. Whether they got a manager that's still in high school or... Should you feel guilty for liking Hawaiian pizza? I have stated my opinion on Hawaiian pizza or pineapple on pizza many times. It is a thing where I don't mind pineapple on pizza. However, the vast majority of places that I have been to and I've had pineapple on pizza have ruined it by just being lazy. Either not cutting down the size of the pineapple, or throwing pineapple in with like the juice of the can, or like half of the time it's just a soggy mess. And that I don't want. But if you give me a pineapple pizza with properly cut up pineapple that's cooked, that's not soggy, I'm all for it. I love the sweetness. I love the acidity. Round Table still is solid. Well, I don't know if they put out a good product, but product for price and for mass produced, they're not a bad business. There's local chains that I much prefer. Like the local pizza place here is much better. Unfortunately, they closed their store in my city. And I have places that I used to live in New York. I lived in New York when I was going to the Culinary Institute. There's places that I miss for pizza in New York. I never really went down to the city that much. There were people that took the train down to the city every weekend. I certainly did it a couple of times, but it wasn't like a regular thing for me. There's some places in upstate New York, well, Poughkeepsie area, that I do miss. Yeah, give me some Naples pizza, if the brothers are still cooking. These aren't looking bad, yeah. We got some... These are rice cake pancakes with kimchi added. So the kimchi is obviously not really Vietnamese, it's much more Korean. But I'm sure you could find yourself some rice noodle pancakes. And that was about as tasty as you expect. I mean... For this, a sauce, maybe a little soy, maybe. Since I added the kimchi, if we're working outside of Vietnamese cuisine, maybe a little, what is the, Korean hot sauce, the fermented hot sauce? Maybe something with a little gochujang thinned out a little bit, maybe with some soy sauce, a little vinegar or something. Maybe a little sugar, little heat, little sweet. That'd go lovely with this. Well, this reminds me very much of a potato pancake from European cuisines. It is essentially the same thing, a starchy product that's coated in egg that's pancaked. Absolutely. This is the same exact ballpark. Flavor, you can put all those same things with this. Your major flavors here are green onion and egg. The rice noodle adds a little bit of interesting texture to it, but beyond that, it's starch.
We got our nice airy bread that I've already squished down quite a bit. Hollandaise would be a bit much for that, but it would work. Maybe you should have gone lighter with the ham on that. I love me some Havarti cheese. That's some good stuff. I really only use it for sandwiches, though. I haven't found many uses outside. It's such a bold, strong flavor. Like, there's not many other uses for Havarti outside of sandwiches. And burgers is a sandwich. But I'll give you that. Burgers, it'd be great on a burger. I sort of wish I got a little more color on the bread. It's well baked. It's cooked through. But I wish I got a little more color on that. Second bite, starting to get pickled veg and cilantro in there. That first bite was just like all ham, which is not my past experience with banh mi. Normally it's so herby, it's so fresh. I might finish this on stream. I just realized I kept getting distracted by the nutrition on this. I never found what the 12%. I didn't find what the alcohol was, what I was looking for in the first place. Pepper, we got a bit of red chili in here with the pickle of the daikon and carrot. So there's a little bit of heat there. I was saying before, there's someone here in Sonoma County that used to work at the farmers markets. Don't know if he still is. A great dude, but it's been a couple of years since I've seen him. He used to use jalapenos with his. So there is a bit of heat with this dish. Thank you for hanging out with me, Alice. I might be exclamation mark rank. I'd have to look that up. That's my guess. Second, third rank? You can find the full list of all the ranks in the info section of the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna have to lock that command now.
Oh, no, you're fine, Penguin. I had someone throw out the commands the other night and pick out the longest one that is there. And that is one that people shouldn't type because I purposely made it long so that people wouldn't type it. It's intended for my goodnight screen. I've just set it so that only moderators and above can activate it, but it runs an ad for starters. It's not something that I would want people randomly running for chat. And then it puts a bunch of stuff in chat for the end of the stream. The music stop, or is it just in between songs here? It stopped. I was thinking this was going to be a short stream. We still ended up waiting a little bit for the bread. But we didn't wait, like I was saying before in Discord. If I hadn't started this bread this morning, there would have been at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours, waiting, proofing this. On top of what else we were doing. Well, that's nice of you to put your tank up there to help them out. My spell is I'm probably going to use haste for this one. Which, I'll try and get as many people as I can with the haste spell. I'm eating a little bit more on stream tonight because we're waiting on the stream raiders for the final battle. The evening. I think I know where we're gonna head here after the stream, unless someone guides the raid. Sure. As long as it isn't like a regular thing. Words. Trying to talk and eat at the same time. I would welcome that, Penguin, if you're streaming. It used to be that everyone that I knew that was a regular in chat, I had automated shoutouts. It did get to a point, unfortunately, though, that people were just coming in, saying something in chat for the automatic shoutout, and then leaving. And so I sort of got rid of that, but...
Victory. Taya getting them assists. Looks like if that's the zip code, that's California-ish. Unmale and Esmeris. Smeris? Sorry, don't know pronunciations. Getting the rewards to our final battle of the evening. And so now that command that I was saying that I didn't want anyone to say, or anyone to use, has now been fired. You can see that the bot just threw out my schedule there. We've just gone into an ad for anyone that's unfortunately not a subscriber or doesn't have Twitch Prime. Let's start a raid here to go see. I'm gonna send you lovely folks to go hang out with a streamer that I raided not too long ago. Huh. Let's make sure that that person's actually on. They must have just wrapped up, unfortunately. I have an entirely different idea here. I'm going to send all you lovely people to go hang out with Mr. Wild Starfish. He is a musician, does some great music. He doesn't do so many streams as he used to. I think both him and his fiance are trying to get back into streaming regularly. Great people that I know from back Mixer days. Like, they were like top of the top of Mixer back in the day, and they just sort of like, I think they got so upset with the whole crash of Mixer that they're working their way back into things. I hope you enjoy hanging out with them. They're great people. And I hope you all have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will be back here on Sunday doing spring rolls and probably something else. I don't think spring rolls is going to fill up a full stream for me. And then back on Tuesday for Vietnamese meatballs. And Wednesday's probably going to be pizza. So I hope you come back to join me again. Give me a follow, all the good jazz. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Good night, and thank you. Bye-bye.
JT!